Hello the internet. Hello. My name is John and this is my friend Sean, and together we are
those video guys.
We're
2/3 of the video guys.
We are 2/3. We are some video guys.
Sadly, Elazar's not with us.
He's gone to Turkey, where I can only see him sunning himself up and having a whale of a time.
Elazar enjoying a second honeymoon. Are you married?
I'm not married.
No.
Sean, are you?
No, I decided not
partnership?
to. I like sex too much, so I decided not to get married.
Very nice. I like it. But anyway, guys, leave us comments. There is a theme of sorts this week. It is
British comedies.
British comedies, indeed, British comedies, and we'll just be talking about crazy stuff that we think of as well. You know, the sort of the internet news, as it were. Talking of which, actually, have you got on Google Plus yet, or had any?
I have not gone on Google Plus yet, but most of my friends have said to me, if you're on Facebook, what's the point?
Well, that was my thoughts exactly, and I've not.
You got Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Bebo, and now Google Plus. How many ways do you need on the internet to tell your friends I'm going to the toilet?
I don't know. Yeah, Twitter's more than enough for me, to be honest with you. Facebook is good. Anyway, guys, like I said, it's a special show. We're looking at We're looking at British comedies. Yes. And the first one of these, one I know you're a big fan of.
It was actually very. This is as British as you can get. What is more British than having a liquid lunch? About two men in a pub having a liquid lunch. Now, I'm not too sure if our American viewers actually know, or our international, non-English viewers know what a liquid lunch is. But a liquid lunch is what we English have a lot, is when at lunchtime you go to the pub.
You just go to the pub and have a beer.
And by liquid it's alcoholic.
And lunch just means it's in the middle of the day.
I'm sure they must have the phrase liquid lunch in America, because when I watch Mad Men, they just have, they have a liquid all day long.
An all-liquid diet, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch it?
Yeah, I've just seen it all, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it's a great little show. It's about 2-3 minute comedy sketches about two guys in a pub during lunchtime at work.
Jenny's left me.
Who's Jenny?
The blonde. About yay high, nice smile.
Oh, Jenny. No, I've got nothing.
So there you go. That's the trailer for Liquid Lunch. It's a new British comedy series.
Yep.
About two guys in a pub discussing their problems. Each one's a separate sketch, but they're all interconnected. Each episode builds up on the previous one. Alex and Ollie, one of them's just split up with his girlfriend, why he's split up with her, how his friend is connected with that, and what directions he's expecting their life to take.
It's a fun romp. It sort of reminded me of Peep Show a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Americans get Peep Show yet.
It's very down-to-earth kind of humour. I mean, it's that kind of humour where it's funny, but you could actually believe two people would be having that conversation in a pub. Or, if you sat next to two people, you could believe that those kind of conversations taking place.
Can I tell you why this show rated very highly in my book?
Why?
Because each episode, at most, was 2 minutes long.
I know, yes. Each episode was short.
And let me tell you, that's my kind of show.
But actually what really got me, it's just two guys sitting down at a pub, but the production values are extremely high quality. It's very, very beautifully lit, perfect colour correction and grading on it, very well edited, and it's very professionally made.
It's a fun show. We really enjoyed it. It's a good comedy. It's very of its time. It's very now, actually.
Yes.
I think.
But it's definitely that kind of thing that you would be happy to kind of like tweet or retweet to your friends the link. So it definitely gets a cheers from me.
If you're a fan of the show as well, on their channel they've got a few other shows. There's, I think, rehearsal footage.
Yeah.
A couple of outtakes and a few other sort of behind the scenes bits and pieces. So well worth checking out.
Well, I noticed a lot of shows on YouTube and a lot of internet shows are kind of like building that up now. When you go to their website, it's almost like DVD extras.
Yeah.
Almost. You've got the trailers going on, but now you're getting behind the scenes footage and interviews and stuff like that.
Well, okay, what's next?
Right, the next show that we're going to move on to is like a kind of spoof on British situation comedies. It's called Mind My Brains, Darling.
Now this is a very interesting one because we have spoken. Well, were you here last week? We spoke to the creator of the show, Higlet.
Yeah.
Friend and fan of the show. Friend of
yes.
the show. Maybe not a fan. Maybe not tonight. No, of course she will be. Who's a lovely young lady who I believe moved from. Well, from her accent, I didn't ask. I thought it seemed impertinent, but from Leeds or somewhere in that region up to Canada. I believe she lives in Canada now,
right.
And we had a bit of a chat with her on Google Plus.
So was this made in Canada then?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing it's set in Britain.
It's quintessentially English.
And
British.
the whole feel of this, it reminds me of those kind of comedy shows like It Ain't Half Hot Mom and You Rang My Lord. Those kind of like 70s, 80s, extremely popular British situation comedy shows. What was the one in Grace Brothers about the shopping? I can't remember that one.
I'm free.
That one. It wasn't called I'm Free.
Called?
Anybody in the message board remember
something
what
about
that
a
show?
Oh, I can't. If you'd asked me any other time, sure, I'd have told you like that.
I'm exactly the same, but it was very much that kind of humour. In which it's,
Are you being served?
Are you being served?
Are you being served?
Very much that kind of humour in which it's very saucy, but all filled with innuendo, where people are saying stuff which sounds kind of rude, but it's not rude.
It's what the English like to call
innuendo, a double entendre.
That's what the French like to call it.
It's filled with double entendres. The situation is, it's 1979, and there has been some unexplained apocalypse where most of the world is now zombies. But somehow that's being controlled, and it's being controlled by the government, so the zombies are trying to live normal lives. It's a bit like, do you remember at the end of the Simon Pegg movie, Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
When he's kind of like, it's after the zombie apocalypse, and he's got Nick Frost chained up in his
shed.
Well, you've got this family, and there's this really beautifully animated intro to it, where it's like kids' drawings of the daughter's drawings, where it shows her family, what they're going through, and how the dad is now a zombie.
Well, funny you should mention the daughter, because we, I don't know if it is the actual daughter who did the drawings, but
yes.
we actually spoke to her as well very briefly last week on chat.
Hooray for Hollywood, that screwy ballyhooey Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pen. And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases a tired businessman. Hooray for Hollywood. You may be homely in your neighborhood, but if they think you can be an actor, see Mr. Factor, he'll make your kisser look good. Within a half an hour, you look like Tyrone Power. Hooray for Hollywood.
There you go, that's Mind My Brains, darling.
Now that was actually her garage. The set that where we spoke.
Well, effectively, there's only two sets. There's kind of like the living room where the family lives, and then there's this government kind of HQ. I have to say, it had this style to it where everything was shot from about the chest down, so you just didn't see anybody's faces in it. And unfortunately, that created a kind of disconnect for me. It almost felt for me like I was watching a radio show, because you couldn't see the actors' faces or the characters' faces. It made it very difficult for me to actually connect to the characters or the storyline. It was a stylistic choice, but it unfortunately wasn't one that worked for me. I don't know whether it was done to save on zombie makeup.
I suspect budget certainly played a part in it,
yeah.
But I like that. You know, it's just a unique situation, a
unique
solution
it may have worked for me for one episode. By the time you were getting to the second or third episode, suddenly I was having a lot of problems sticking with it. The humour, as I said, it's very much a 70s, 80s, very British style of humour, which you don't really see anymore. So it's nice to actually see that kind of thing. I mean, that's a great thing for an internet show, to do something which isn't being supplied somewhere else, and it's giving that kind of spoofing while still paying tribute to that kind of comedy show very gently. And it was, I thought the script was good. I just said I really just had a problem connecting with the characters as a result of the way it was filmed and the stylistic choice for the way that it was filmed.
Canned laughter?
There wasn't any canned laughter.
Would you have liked to have seen some?
You can't see canned laughter. You just got to hear it. I would have liked to have seen the characters' faces, but as you said, no doubt the creators would have disagreed with me on that.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, that lost it for me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but otherwise, it was an enjoyable show for you. The set. Did you like the set? I thought it was very, unique. A unique set.
It was an interesting set. As I said, it was playing off the whole look of that 70s type of show, to give just a typical working class UK family.
Well, it's quite authentic, I think. Having spoke to Higler herself last week, you're a big zombie fan, aren't you?
I have no problems with zombies just as long as they're not eating me.
And from the face up, you like them
Yeah.
from the face up as
Yes. Well, like anybody, any drama I'm watching, I need to look the characters in the eye.
I mean, I would recommend Mind My Brains.
Mind My Brains, Darling.
Bit of a mouthful, but trips off the tongue nicely.
Yes.
I would recommend
you have to keep the darling in there because that gives it that authentic kind of like
1970s British sitcom feel. That was a big sitcom fan myself. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's just a fun thing to watch. I love all sitcoms, really. Not all I'm not uncritical, but I really like British sitcoms, good ones, particularly from that era. I guess Steptoe and Son would be a favourite. Maybe that's even a little bit before then. Likely Lads, some of that sort of stuff. Again, I suspect this will mean nothing to the majority of our US audience, but
a lot of these shows actually ended up being remade, or a lot of them being remade. But Are You Being Served became a huge cult show in America.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
I was surprised when I went over there a few years ago to find As Time Goes By was a sort of student cult hit, which is bizarre, as I just find it one of the most bleak shows ever. But see, it's odd to you never know what's going to take off in America.
Anyway, Rob has just said he's watched all of Are You Being Served in Netflix.
Wow.
He's going to have to be paying a lot for therapy after that.
He'll be paying a lot for Netflix at that rate, but what else have we got?
And Rob is also saying that he actually disagrees with me, but we all have our choice. He liked the art direction of Mind My Brains, Darling, and the stylistic choice in there.
Well, me too. I thought it was a really interesting and creative solution.
And a shout out, as always, to Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Hello. And and Oriana as well. Elizabeth Oriana, nice to see you in the chat room as well.
And Blood and Bone China are on Ustream as well. I would recommend you definitely. That's one of my favourite YouTube shows. Definitely would always recommend Blood and Bone China, so check that one out.
We met Chris in person.
Well, you guys did. I wasn't there, because I'm banned from that event.
Well, indeed, we filmed. Yes, you are. There was you're persona non grata, so you made that very clear.
Because I run better events.
Different events. Anyway, and we met Chris anyway. We got some interview footage with him, so we'll probably in a few weeks' time we'll put some footage of. But that brings us to
our final show of tonight. Andy and Chaz bugger off to America.
Yeah.
And this has been described as combining Reservoir Dogs with The Hangover.
Described by who? Andy and Chaz?
You are the creators,
yes.
Okay. But you want to know something? As I watched it, I could actually see that straight away, as if, when they wrote it, they said, oh, why don't we do Reservoir Dogs as if it was the two characters from The Hangover or Pulp Fiction.
Actually, that is quite a good, quite a good summation.
But basically, it's two British hitmen.
Mm-hmm.
Who've gone out to Los Angeles and literally the trouble they're getting into. Like in the first episode, they end up killing a scriptwriter.
Well, he's a movie star, isn't he? He's the movie star they killed.
All right, yeah. Well,
or was that the second episode?
I thought he was an agent who deals with scripts and stuff.
What, they make him read the script and
yes.
They go, you're meant to be an actor.
And he has to read it all out.
Yeah, anyway, they kill a lot of people.
Yes.
And I don't think it's spoiling anything to say that. Oh, and hello, breaking news. Andy and Chaz are coming to the TVG offices next week for a special interview for those video guys in Los Angeles, presumably.
The offices are in a bunker in Area 51.
In New Mexico,
yes.
Okay. I was just thinking they probably don't mean the East Finchley branch of those video guys.
But I have to say, as much as I really loved Liquid Lunch, this one just pipped that one for me as the best show that I was checking out this week.
Do you know what? I feel quite similar to that. All I would say is that too many swears for me.
Oh, it's very much Red Band, this is. I mean, you even get the C word being uttered, and usually you only ever hear that on Spartacus or Torchwood. Not
just uttered, screamed into the camera at length.
Dear Lord, please look after Mr. Prada. Let him into those big pearly gates. Even though he's a
Amen.
No.
You beat me and humiliated me and kidnapped me, and now I'm shoot you both.
I'm quite a nice guy, really, but... Yeah, but not normally. Give us your number, go on.
If I don't give it to you, can you shoot me?
Not if you give me your number, no.
Okay, I can see that you need to have it spelled out for you.
Sorry to stop you, but this is a robbery. Can I get your hands in the air, please? Okay, now, put your hand up if you can't afford to give me your wallet.
Let's just kill him. Just kill him. Yeah. That's your answer for everything, isn't it?
This is two guys. Oh, no, they're wanted by the police in England.
Charlie, what are you doing here?
Well, what the you think I'm doing here? I've come to take you back, haven't I?
Who's this?
He thinks I'm you and that I killed his whore and he's come looking for you.
There you go. Some of that is actually unseen footage, I think. I don't think that was all in the show, was it?
Well, I don't know. All the episodes aren't out yet, are they?
Oh, right. That would explain. Oh, I did think it ended a bit abruptly, actually, so that might explain it. There are 5 episodes currently up. Clearly more to come.
I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very, very funny, very well acted. It was very much, I felt, a spoof on the whole Tarantino-esque kind of gangster drama. And it took something familiar and gave it a new twist.
It did. I couldn't help. Maybe it's just the accents, but I couldn't help but think of Guy Ritchie a little bit watching the movie. Although thankfully, without all the wacky sort of trendy, graphic-y things that he throws into the movies. Funny, absolutely. Some really nice.
A lot of laugh out loud moments.
I really enjoyed the polite bandit or the polite burglar, as I think there was a little clip of in that trailer.
Yeah.
And some other really just original ideas. You know, playing Wii tennis to resolve arguments. I thought was funny. Again, I don't want to give too much away, actually, so maybe I shouldn't be going into too much detail. But some genuinely original.
Definitely a show that you want to check out and you want to look up and have a watch of. There's 5 episodes out there at the moment. I believe there's more coming.
I hope so. I'm glad.
Yes.
I was going to say, I thought it ended really abruptly on the 5th episode. I was thinking that can't be it. So hopefully there are 1 or 2 more, because I really enjoyed it. And like we say, Andy and Chaz are going to be filming some interview footage for us in the next week or so. So hopefully we'll bring that to you in a later episode.
Okay, so that basically wraps up this week. We've had 3 different shows for you. We're on Twitter.
We are, as individuals and collectively.
Yes, individually, here are our twits.
We're sitting in the wrong place.
And yes, I'm John Atkins.
Yeah.
And that's Sean Harry.
Hello.
Or you can tweet us at, is it at those video guys? At those video guys.
And indeed, people have been tweeting us, and I'm surprised by the love we've been getting for Are You Being Served? Both on Twitter
What
and
a great show that
was.
was. I mean, I used to love that. And also, we are conquering all social media.
Indeed.
So you can find us on YouTube with our old episodes. Subscribe to us. Like us on YouTube. Twitter, as I said, Those Video Guys.
Tweet us.
Facebook. Our website.
ThoseVideoGuys.tv. But like I said...
So you'll be back next week.
I'll be back with Elazar.
Elazar will be back next week. I will not be back
You won't be back. Well, that's a shame, Sean. We'll miss you. Are you going on a special? Or?
I'm running a convention.
Really? Well, would you like to plug that quickly?
I'm running a convention for fans of Glee. We have some of the cast members of Glee coming along.
Is that a first, actually, in the UK? I thought
it's a first in the UK, yes.
Good. Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that.
Yeah.
And we will have to come down to one of these at some point. Guys, okay, like I say, we will be back same time, same place, same day, same channel, same web address.
And also, I believe it's the middle of August. We've got Talking Who coming back for a Torchwood special.
For a Torchwood special.
Yes.
Great stuff. Good. But in the meantime, you know, throw us some tweets in the week, and from myself, from Sean, and from Elazar and Absentia. Until next week, goodbye.
We are Those Video Guys.